Family Friendly Garage here. We are unfortunately back working on the 1957 1841 industrial loader backhoe. When I bought this tractor, it never really had any good oil pressure to it. The previous owner rebuilt the lower end in it, and I noticed when we fired it up, it had good oil pressure at the start. But as the machine got warm and we started working with it, the oil pressure pretty much dropped off to almost nothing, a couple of PSI. You'll see in my previous video, I redid the rear main seal because it was leaking, and when I pulled that rear main bearing cap, you could see some wear there, and the bearing caps were supposed to be brand new. So I do believe it does legitimately have low oil pressure. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start by changing the oil pump. And just see if maybe the oil pump is weak. Perhaps the previous owner put in an old pump, decided not to get a new one. They're like, I don't know, 90 bucks or something from yesterday's tractor. So anyway, we're going to start with that. I'm going to try to do the oil pump change with the engines. With the injection pump still in the tractor. According to the book, you're supposed to pull that injection pump. May have to, I don't know, but I'm going to try it without, see if I can get the oil pump out without taking that off. The reason I want to do that is I don't really want to take that off, crack all my fuel lines, and have to retime the injection pump. I've got a book, I'm sure I could do it, but if I don't have to, I don't really want to go through the extra steps. So the process should be pretty easy. Drain the oil pan, take the oil pan off, and then up under to the side, let me see if I can get this, right up over in here at the bottom of either your distributor on a gas engine or your diesel injection pump there on the diesel. There's two little bolts right there on the outside of the block. Looks like they're an Allen head bolt. I believe there's going to be a nut on the inside. Take the nut off, pull those Allen heads all the way out. They look like they're shoulder bolts. And I think that oil pump will just slide out the bottom right off of the drive shaft, which goes up into that diesel injection pump. Okay, so your oil pump is driven off of either the diesel injection pump or the distributor, which has a gear off the camshaft, and it's going to key into just to the bottom of that pump. So anyway, I'm going to try it. We'll get the pan dropped and see if we can get it out and put it back in without damaging the drive shaft there between the diesel injection pump and the oil pump. Alright, we got the pan off. So the way this works is your pump is going to suck up oil from your oil pan up through this tube here. It's going to come around up into here, into your oil pump, and then the oil pump's going to force it out of this tube up into here, which then goes up into your oil filter and then up into your engine from there. So one of the reasons I had to pull this off is when you go out to yesterday's tractor and you look up the 172 diesel engine, it says it's a rotor style pump, and when you look at the gas engine, it says it's a gear pump, and when you look at the book on the old shop manuals for these tractors, it says they're all supposed to be gear pumps. So I didn't really know which one to order, so I'm going to go ahead and just rip this one out. There's 4 1/2-inch bolts right here. I'm going to take those bolts off and take a look up in there and see if I've got the gear pump or if I've got the rotor pump so I can order the right one. Alright, so I'm really glad I pulled this pan off and check this oil pump, because again, yesterday's tractor listed the 172 diesel engine as having a rotor style pump, and I'm not an engineer, but that sure looks like a gear pump to me. Twin gears that go right up in that housing, and I can see it looks like my housing's got some wear in it. I'll try to get it pulled out here and take a closer look at it in the light where you can see it. I really hope this is the cause of my low pressure problem and it's not those cam bearings. Those camshaft bearings are wore out. I'm going to be in trouble on this engine because you just can't get them. Anyway,
Alright, so the last step here, there's a bolt there, and I'm probably gonna have to roll my engine over to get the other one. There's a nut there. I'm gonna try to take those two nuts off, pull the bolts out through the block, and see if I can't just slide that oil pump housing straight out. You can see that shaft right there. I hope you can see it on the video. I don't want to bend that shaft by popping that oil pump, you know, to the left or to the right there. I want to pull it straight down. But if I can pull it straight down once those bolts are out, then hey, we could do this with the engine installed, or with the distributor and or diesel injection pump installed, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I bumped the starter and rolled the engine over, and I got a real nice opening there to get a wrench up in there and get that one bolt off. Oil pump. Now I'm going to rotate it around and get some space right there and get that other bolt off.
Alright, looks like this is going to work in the block. Alright, so right down in here, I just pulled out the first of the two bolts that hold that oil pump into this inside of the engine. Okay, so because you can pull these out, look, they're not threaded or anything, they are kind of pressed in. They got like a shoulder in there, but they came out with just a pair of vice grips and a little bit of tugging, so it'd be hard to kind of push it out from the inside. But if you come on the outside, you can pull them out after you get those nuts off. And I didn't get a shot of it on the video, but I already reached up there and grabbed that oil pump, and it's loose. So as soon as I pull that second one out, I believe that oil pump's just gonna fall right out. So let me stop the camera here and get the other one pulled out.
Alright, there's the finished product. Oil pump is out. You can see where that diesel injection pump or the distributor actually connects to the camshaft right there. That diesel camshaft, you can't get one, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of bearing in there. I don't wonder if it's even got bearings, and I assume so, otherwise it would wear the block out. But anyway, there's where the cam goes into the block part of it. The cam doesn't look too terrible bad in this one. It should work if I can get some oil pressure back in the old grow. But you can certainly take the oil pump out without taking out the diesel injection pump or the distributor. That is cool news for those of you who are planning your oil pump change. If you follow the book, you really don't have to do it. If you're careful, you can take it right out. Very cool. Hope this is helpful.